Hello friends, it's Lisa and I'm back with another video. Today is a craft room tour. So I just got back from the Christina Warner's Crafty Cruise 2019 and it was so much fun. Here's a time-lapse video from when we were on the beach in St. Martin. We were on the Dutch side. I forget what beach it was, but it was beautiful. It was very rough, but it was beautiful. Anyway, so here is my craft room. And some of the girls on the cruise, as well as a few of Christina's Instagram followers, asked to see how I organize my craft room because I have a whole system. This is actually my second craft room. Here I'll show you a picture of my first craft room. So in 2017, I bought my first house. I got my craft room all organized. Here is everything. It's all fancy. I just got my house. It was all exciting. Then one night I was woken up to an explosion. Long story short, my craft room and my entire house burned. And so my house was taken down to the studs, rebuilt. There was a lot of drama and the whole rebuild was like my worst nightmare. Made real, but silver lining, I was able to make a few changes. So here is my craft room pre-fire. My brother built me that really long, nice desk. I was starting to get everything organized. Here's some of my ink pads. And of course, here was the fire. The Belmont firefighters were awesome and they helped me put out the fire in my house. Here is one of my sewing machines because before the fire I sewed and now I don't. But that's for another reason. And that's my craft room after the fire. So I had my craft room in a guest bedroom, but I changed. I made some layout changes where I took out some closets upstairs and added a full wall, expanded the pantry, and moved my washer dryer up to the master closet. So while I left the hookups for the washer dryer downstairs, I had a whole closet open for anything I wanted. Plus, by removing a closet and adding a full wall upstairs, I was able to maximize the entertainment area in my living room. So instead of having a movie room in this big bonus room, I decided to use it as my craft room. So now I have that big desk. Well, really, it's a dining room table that I got for $400. And in my bonus room, and then all my craft supplies in my old laundry room. Now, here you can see I have a couple rolly carts that I use. I can hide them in that closet because it has a door when I don't want everything out, but it's nice because I can roll them right up to my chair, and I'll show you at the very end of this video a picture of how I usually sit. But here is my desk, or where I usually sit, and I have the Tim Holtz media mat. I use this high rolly chair. It is a countertop height table, so I have a stool, one step stool, that I rest my feet on, and it helps me get up on that chair, but I can also stand and work, so that's really nice. I wanted to show you here, it's this $12 tiered cupcake stand I got on Amazon. It's plastic, but it's really helpful because I put all the different media and stuff that I'm going to use for a project on that, and it keeps it all organized and in a smaller space. Here's my other cart. I have my Gemini machine, the full size, the Gemini Go, my two of my Xyron Create a Sticker. Well, those are the only two I have. And then at the very bottom, my Copic airbrush system. Has everything all plugged in and ready to go. And when I'm done for the night, I just unplug the whole thing from the wall. So it's really nice. Plus, I have my heat gun. And I use this Wagner heat gun. I used to have a barrel heat gun, but I felt really uncomfortable using that. So I use this one that's shaped more like a gun. It has the hand grip, and I can stand it up so it doesn't get too hot. Now here's my Copic airbrush adapter, and I use this for airbrushing Copics obviously, but also when I'm doing alcohol ink, it's really helpful there. So I have one other chair. I'm planning to get 6 chairs around that table, and I need 2 more glass mats. The other ones are from Crafter's Companion. I got those because they were cheaper than the Tim Holtz glass medium mats. I like the Tim Holtz because it's a little bit bigger and I like the black, but I have that for me, and everybody else who comes and visit me gets the other one. So someday I'll have it all perfect, but that day is not this day. So here's what I call my craft closet. So all my actual craft stuff lives in here. I don't do work in here other than cutting stuff out with my Cricut and Scan and Cut, but otherwise everything just lives in here and I come and get it. So here on this wall, I have all of my Cricut mats and Scan and Cut mats. Now the Cricut mats have a hole in them, but the Brothers Scan and Cut don't. So I kind of jerry-rigged these clothespins, and I just put a hole in one side, and then I hang them from those little hangers. So it works perfectly, and I don't have to put any holes in those because it can mess up or not read when it's going through the machine. So on the very top, I have some styrofoam that was left from packing materials, but I felt like I should keep it because that stuff is expensive. I also keep all of my alcohol inks in the little tins, and I keep them on their side because it's easier to store, as well as those mixative bottles. It's easier to shake up when they're on the side. Here I have some other stuff like hand sanitizer, the Copic blending solution. Then I have all my markers. So here are the Copic markers. I actually have the full set of them. And then I have all of the Pitt pens and a few other markers that I use. Now, that first one that I pulled out, I use as a spray box. So when I'm spraying anything, I can put something down and spray it in there. It contains the mess. And the second one is where I keep everything to add additional stamps and dies, anything that kind of makes an impression into my system, which we're going to look at now. I keep all of my stamps and dies in these boxes. Now they're M design boxes, and I'll try and link them up. They fit pretty well. I use the Tim Holtz sleeves, and I have everything either in or attached to them, and the boxes fit those sleeves really well. I thought they would fit them vertically or the other way, but they only fit them this way. So it works out pretty well, and I can just flip through. As well, there's a little space at the back that I put any wood stamps in. So that's definitely an option as well. So if you have a few of those, you can do that. Now, you saw how everything had a storage identification. This is how I catalog all of them. I have a database on my computer. What you're seeing here is the database for my stamps and dies, stencils, as well as foil stamps and embossing folders. Now, here I'm adding a designer, so you can go in and completely customize this to however you want. If you want to further way more detail on this, then I can create another video. I didn't think you wanted to see every single thing, but here you can kind of see I put the product name, the type of impression it makes. So this is a stamp. I include the product photo. I have the company, designer. Then the next line is the storage ID. So G4, I'm looking for the green box number 4, and it's going to be the 23rd sleeve in there, and that's where I'm going to find it. And it's super easy. Plus, I'm able to tag with a bunch of different information, such as the type of pictures that are in it. Like this one's just shapes, kind of basic, but I can also I have a hashtag area where I can put anything. Like I have Art Deco in there, so if I want to make an Art Deco-y card, I just go up in the top right where it has the little magnifying glass and it says Simon Says stamp. I would just delete that Simon Says and put in Art Deco, and this would pop up, as well as a few other stamps and die sets that I have. So it makes it easy to kind of find what you're looking for. And I'm able to see all of my stuff without pulling it all out, so that's super nice. At the very bottom, I do have a section that I can see how many times I've used something. So if I use it, I go ahead and add another number. But that's kind of it. Also, one thing that I'm working on now is adding in some of the sentiments. So like the main words in the sentiments. So thank you, love you, that kind of stuff. So here you'll see that number of times used. Needed to update that because I've used it at least twice. But then if in a year I look through and there's a few that I've literally never used, maybe I shouldn't keep them. That kind of stuff. You can also see you can see everything in more of an Excel kind of row by row format or in this individual format. To enter a new one, I just go ahead and click the plus sign at the bottom and start typing. So when I was doing this today, I actually added a bunch in because I just bought some new stamps and dies and it was fun. To do this, what I go ahead and do is just start adding the information that I have. Then I'll go online and search for the product, or sometimes if I'm extra good, when I actually buy the products, I will grab the picture down already. So you see all I did was click and drag, and then I dragged it up. I found, for me, if I dragged it directly from the internet to the iDatabase product, it doesn't stay, so I have to drag it to the desktop and then drag it up, but it's super easy. Next, I just add all the rest of the information in. You'll see I skipped the storage ID, but that's because I haven't put it up yet. So I will update that. And then for image themes, I go with Flower in Nature because it has flowers and it has butterflies. So that works. Then I went with encouragement because I liked the "you are grand," but I'm also going to put one of the hashtags as thank you, so that then if I am looking for a thank you, I can search for it and it'll come up. That's pretty much it. I also have the share sale address and share sale image code. Long story about that, but that's basically because sometimes when I'm doing good, I try and link products that I've used in the video to my blog. I haven't done it lately, so I need to get back on that, but I'll keep that information there. You definitely don't need to do that. Next, if we move over in my craft closet, you can see all my ink pads. I have the small little archival inks, so that's what that whole bag is full of. Then here are my Distress Oxide and Distress Ink pads. I keep them together, so you'll see I have the Distress ink color, and then I have the Distress Oxide ink color, and I have them in rainbow order. here's the fossilized amber distress oxide, and you'll see on the bottom that I have my little ink blendery thing in a little plastic case, which is super easy to make, and I have a whole video, so I will link to that at the end if you are interested on how to create this, but it keeps everything so clean and organized and easy peasy, and it's actually really simple to do. I have been using the Crafter's Companion Spectrum Noir blending tool refills, especially for the Distress Oxide. They blend so much better than the Tim Holtz ones. I think it's just a different type of foam. But I have a whole video about that. I'll try and link that at the end of this as well. Here, this Blueprint Sketch Distress Oxide kind of leaks, but you'll see that using this little pouch, it keeps everything clean, even though that little foam is really wet. Then I have my Harmony ink pads and Midas, all my ink pads from Spectrum Noir. In this case, it's plastic. I don't like it as much. I don't really like the oval ink pads. They don't look as nice. I can't get them all aligned as easy. But I also have my Cricut Maker and Scan and Cut out. You'll see I showed you that I usually pull those out when I'm actually using them, but I push them against the wall when I'm not. Then I have this little thing of all my completed cards that I just haven't sent out to anybody or anything like that. So I can just look through them and pull them out and grab them. And here are some bookmarks that I can give out when needed. I also like the little love note size cards, so I have a few of those ready to go when I need them. I need to send out more cards, so that's what I'm working on, trying to actually send out cards. Now I also have a 15 by 15 guillotine cutter, and you'll see here it has a lock, so if I want to use it, I unlock it and then I just pull it up. It's a little unsafe. I do lock it, and you'll see that handle stays up, so it's not like it just falls back down and it'll cut something accidentally. You have to push it down, but I like having the guillotine cutter a lot, and I don't have any kids or pets at my house, so I don't worry about it too much. Next, I'm showing you above, and here's where I keep a lot of my stuff. So you saw my printer, and that's a 12. I can print up to like 13 or 14 by 18. So you can print 12 by 12 pieces of paper on it. So that's really nice. Then I use these Totally Tiffany project sorters to hold things that kind of go together, or projects that I'm working on, that kind of stuff. And they're also really great for subscription boxes when you want to keep everything together before you add it into your system. Next, I have an open box for all of my Nina 80-pound paper, and that is my embellishment sorter. I also can just put the things like this, which are the gel press plates, that kind of stuff. I just have vertical storage. Anything I can do vertical storage, I do. I like the open boxes, but I actually use a lot of these closed boxes from Totally Tiffany. A lot of my stuff is in Totally Tiffany products because I really like her. She has some great organizational videos if you're interested. Here are how I store all my stencils. So the small ones go in 4x4 and the larger ones go in just some 12x12 page protectors that I cut the ring holes off of. Now, I also keep all my paper in these kind of boxes, as well as things that go along with a cinch, that kind of stuff. Here is my database for all my, I call it the substrates, but it's paper, vinyl, anything like that, so I can keep all my information. I put the name of the type of paper, the company that creates it, paper size, storage ID, weight of the paper, color. It's really simple and fast to do. It's also easy that I can find things really quickly. I think I may switch over to all open containers. The closed containers were really good while I was waiting for my house to get rebuilt, but now that I'm in, I may switch over. So, if you want more information on this kind of storage, just let me know and I can do a more in-depth video into it. You can also sort by different colors, that sort of thing. It's really nice because I used to have everything, like all my stamps and dies, I would stamp them out and add them into a catalog, but this way I can really tag them in multiple ways. I can sort them how I need to sort them and not just in that one way, or having to stamp things out multiple times. So the top, I just have a bunch of other random stuff that I probably could get rid of, but I have not done yet. Still holding on to it. Next, we're going to look at, I just wanted to show you, that's where I keep all of my larger stuff, over there. But I have some drawers, and this drawer is my favorite. Also, the most work ever. So I have all of my colors I have swatched. There's a few that I need to make a few more swatches, but that's a long story. So here's kind of what the swatch looks like, but I have all these little swatch tags, and you'll see in my database I keep information like the color name, the type of media that it is, as well as the base. There's a lot of reasons for that, and it's really helpful. I also, if it is sparkly, metallic, glossy, or gritty, I capture that, but it's really helpful information so I can know how things work together. But I also have everything in a tag form, and I have it all sorted out by color. So the Copic markers can be right next to acrylic paint, which can be right next to a watercolor that is the same color, like is a similar color. So I can go through and say, oh yeah, I really love this color. It's perfect for the night sky in this next card I'm going to make, so I'll use that. But you know what? And there's also the hole punch at the top that I have the color around that hole punch. So if I was trying to match a specific color to, say, a pattern paper that I had in my stock, and I wanted it to match, I could go through and check, oh, does this actually match? So that's what that hole is for and why it's important. But I got these swatches from, well, I made them all, but the stamps that I used as well as the little hole punch is all from Waffle Flower. Just like the stamp that I used to create these. But what these are is project colors. So colors that I've used before together, and if you've watched some of my previous videos, they might look a little familiar. But say I wanted to make a green project, I might pick those green ones. It's just colors that have all looked together really well previously. So that's what that is. Then I also keep my masking paper up there. So I absolutely love my color system. It's amazing and has really worked out. It was a little painful to create, but totally worth it. Oh, I just need to move that to another drawer. So I took it out. But if you you want a video on that, just let me know and I will do that as well. So I have the swatches all together, but I keep all my media separate. So it's kind of interesting, but I keep things together that kind of go together. For example, that was all my glitter. This is all of my embossing powders. I am now branching out because I don't just have Ranger. Here are some Wow and Hero Arts, which are those pearlescent colors, and they're amazing. Some more colors and stuff like that. We can move on. So those are the two small drawers, and here are another two small drawers. So I have like my brushos, and all these bags are what are called buddy bags from Totally Tiffany. It's really nice because it keeps things tight together, but also if there's a spill, it's kind of contained. Then I have little buckets for all of my Brother Scan and Cut and Cricut Maker supplies, as well as my little We Are Memory Keepers staples, so those are nice. Another drawer filled with stuff. Now the video for some reason kind of cut out here, so I'm going to skip true drawers, but it's just a few sewing vinyl-y stuff, as well as what's it called? Some other stuff that don't really matter. But the drawer you just saw had all my extra organization stuff. Then this drawer here has, I wanted to show you these. These are really nice for my Cricut Maker. If you want to use non-Cricut pens, you can get these on Etsy, and they fit in the Cricut Maker and they're amazing, and they let you use other pens. So I have all my pens sorted along with those so I can do that. Then I have some acrylic paint and all my sparkly stuff. So here's some glitter dust that glows silver, as well as some of this shimmer spritz, which is fun as well. Now, all my liquid watercolors, which I had a whole series about that, so if you're interested in those, definitely go check that out. But they're a lot of fun, and I have that where I can easily just lift it up and it's stadium. Then here, sometimes I've used these. I had this idea. If I make another one, I'll show you. But then I can just drop some of the liquid watercolor in that, and it's awesome. Next, more of my mixed media stuff. I also have all of the mixed media mediums swatched out in different ways. So I mixed the pink color and put it through a stencil. I sprayed the Distress spray stain on there in blue. I stamped it over stamps. Just a lot of different trials to see how it interacted and what it would look like, so that I would know when I do my mixed media projects. So that's the last drawer that we haven't seen yet, and can kind of show you a little overview again of the whole craft closet, but that's about it. It is pretty awesome, and it's really nice that I have everything organized. I just jump in there and jump out. It's a lot of fun. I didn't talk about those things that are on the wall, but they allow me to just stand up some pictures, and I have them in my living room and dining room as well, and it's awesome. They are so much fun, and it was only it wasn't too expensive. So let's go through this one last rolly cart. I have this system at the top, this acrylic, I don't know, kind of station, and I hold all my plates as well as stamp positioners. So you saw my Tim Holtz stamp positioner, as well as this is my We Are Memory Keepers precision press, and I like the precision press a lot. I made this with just some leftover plastic that I had in my scan and cut, so I can kind of position things, and it's especially helpful when creating all over backgrounds. Now I have one press that is specifically for my swatching, and I just keep everything, all those stamps on there, positioned perfectly as well. Now I keep all my glossy accents, glues, all that stuff up here, and I also keep my scissors and bone folder. I've been using the Gina K Connect glue. It's pretty awesome. And it's nice because I can have it where it's facing down so that all the glue is really easy and ready to use. And I have just all the tools, small little tools that you need. And that's my ultra fine mist sprayer. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, and it's the best sprayer. I have my jet black archival ink pad, the alcohol lift ink, the Gina K amalgam ink, the Versa Mark, and the Versa Fine Onyx Blacks ink right there ready to go, because those are my most used ink pads, and it's nice to have them easy access. Then I also have all my small stamp blocks, and they're pretty cool, easy to use, and right there, as well as the ink blender tools. Finally, I have the makeup brushes that I use to blend, some foams, my palette knives and glue gun, and then my little anti-static powder tool right at the ready. I have a small guillotine trimmer as well that I keep right out. Now in the first and top, I have some of my Gemini foil press stuff, and that's what all those swatches are. That is, I think it's 50 or 60 different swatches of all the different ways and hows and on top of to foil, so I know how and what works and what it'll look like. When I have a crazy idea, I know what it will look like. Then here is my little bag of extra swatches. You can see I need to make some more, as well as just kind of my junk drawer. Any pieces of paper that didn't actually go into a project is what I put in that one. Then I have my another couple drawers are just filled with some stuff. This one's a project that I haven't done, but I'm planning on at some point. Then my actual Gemini foil press. And that is that whole cart. And that's my whole room. You can see I keep my little trash can right there. And I have my TV. I didn't really show you that, but I have my TV against the wall so I can watch it or listen to a book from Audible as I'm crafting. And here is what it usually looks like. I'm sitting on my chair and I have my rolly carts right around me with my lights on, and I'm filming. So I hope you guys had a great day. If you want me to go into more detail, please just let me know on what, and I can do that. Here are those videos we talked about. Please go ahead and subscribe. I have a video coming up where I actually use all my system, and I show you how that kind of interacts with actually creating a card. So that'll be in just a couple of days, so go ahead and subscribe if you're interested. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.